Today we're talking about the Godox ML60Bi and the ML30Bi color lights. These little bad boys have been my go-to lighting choices for lighting my wedding receptions, my toasts, first dances, you name it, sometimes even in the bridal suite. For the past, I guess 7 months, 6 months, I bought the Godox ML60s almost right when they came out. And then I got the Godox ML30s about 2 months ago. Really amazing lights. So today we're talking about it. So I guess the most obvious thing to like about these lights is that they are extremely tiny. Like, this is the light and here's my coffee cup. They're extremely small, they're portable, they're lightweight, and they have a 1/4-20 mounting thread at the bottom that you can pretty much mount anywhere. I think that really opens up the possibilities of being able to use this light. Now, just the lighting and the design itself, it's really small and portable, made of aluminum, has built-in fans. I have never had these lights overheat on me at a wedding. I typically can get an entire wedding reception with using 2 NPF batteries. There are a few quirks that I really wish Godox would address or just start perfecting a little bit more, but that's more on the software side of it, not the actual light itself. Currently, I run 4 Godox ML60Bis and I have 3 ML30s. And the whole purpose is so that I can fully control the lighting during the receptions. It's always frustrating when you have beautiful films that fall apart because the lighting is bad. And I'm not talking about it looks bad. I just mean it's not high CRI, high quality lighting. So I like to bring in my own lights because it really helps control the lighting. It makes things look a little more cinematic. There's a random dog here, but we're gonna keep it going. So the lights themselves, they come with a power cable, which is actually really nifty. This power cable mounts to the back side of the light itself, and it attaches with just like a little, 3 little hooks here that slides into the back of it. It attaches in, and then you're able to mount the light here that also has your light stand mount at the bottom. On the handle itself, it has these 2 little grooves. So once you actually attach it to the light, it doesn't wiggle left or right. It actually kind of goes into the light, it recesses into the bottom. It prevents it from wiggling out. I mount them backwards so that I can actually attach the power connector, the power brick, to the back side of it, and it sits on my light stand like this. I think one of the other perks is that the cable being so small and tidy, it gives it a really clean look. If you happen to show this light in the background or if it's on one of your light stands and you see it, it doesn't look bad. It doesn't have a lot of cables dangling or the ballast or things like that. In terms of power, I use Sony NPF style batteries. I use 10,000 milliamp versions, so I use 2 of those. The way that I run it at weddings or how I run my lights, I'm able to get an entire reception with these lights and 1 set of batteries. The brightest that I ever have the lights is during the grand entrance, the first dances, and the toast. That's usually when I like to fully control the look and the layout of the venue. So I'll turn off the lights in the venue and use all of my lights to create a mood and have the white balance and the color temperature of the lights balanced to whatever I need them to be that gets the best in-camera look. And then during the party scene, I typically have them at 1%, and that can go for a long time. I had a wedding reception that was almost 5.5 hours long, and that was just the dancing part of the evening, and the lights powered all the way through it. I also like to have the lights extremely bright for the send-off. I try to run 4, sometimes 5. It just depends on it. That's always been one of the issues that I hated. I hated it so much. Was I have a beautiful wedding film that just the last clip, that send-off clip, always had a huge quality drop. And bringing these lights, being so lightweight and portable, if it's windy out, you can use a regular C-stand or light stand, boom them up. And because they're not like an LED panel, it doesn't actually catch the wind the same way that an LED panel would, which is what I used to use, which I was always worried about falling over or hitting someone, and I would always have to have someone stand by it. These I can set up. They're light, they're portable, they're easy to move around, and I can just leave them outside ready for the grand exit, and it always looks good. Again, since they're bicolor lights, during the grand exit, I can actually set these to match the sparklers, or if they're doing glow sticks, and just make the light seem like it's already in the scene. It's natural, but it's just enhancing everything. But it makes the faces, it makes the exit look so much cleaner and better. I try to really keep that same quality from getting ready all the way until the send-off. I want the quality of the film, the look, to always have that same aesthetic. These lights are bicolor, so they range from 2600 Kelvin to 5600 Kelvin. I like that they're bicolor because I can almost match the same interior lighting at the venue. So if the venue has lights that are slightly warmer than 3200 Kelvin, I can reduce this a little bit further and try to get them to match so it looks like one source of light instead of, you know, my lights being a different shade and they stand out and people start noticing them. I'm not a super technical person, so I can't tell you what the lux readout on these lights are. I can just tell you that 4 of them, even outside, at 50–60% is extremely bright. It looks so good. I love using them, especially for the toast, because then you can get rid of those harsh shadows and almost create like a really nice mood and vibe with these lights. Now, to talk about a few things that I really do hate about the lights, and it's not necessarily the lights themselves, it's more of what Godox does and the support that they have. Both the app and the remote can use a lot of updates, or at least the software with the light. The biggest annoyance with these is that they consistently disconnect or they consistently reset themselves. Once I have these lights set up and the group and channel ID are set, I can turn the light off and cut it back on and it'll completely reset to the default, which is annoying because I like to run my lights in pairs. I'll have the Godox ML60s all on one set and then the ML30s on another set, because the way I use them at the weddings, I'll have the ML60s pointed more towards the dance floor and the ML30s pointed to the guests or the audience, so that we can have softer lighting in the back and brighter lighting in the front that's still color accurate and I can still get those reactions that look really good. I've noticed this with Godox products in general, is that a lot of the software side of their products are heavily underdeveloped. They need a lot of work. Even with the app it still works and connects perfectly fine. You'll have the light set for Bluetooth, you'll have the Bluetooth function turned on, and for no reason you can turn the lights off, cut them back on, and the Bluetooth has now turned itself off. So you have to lower the light, turn the Bluetooth back on, and reconnect it to the app, which again is very annoying. Run and gun in weddings, you really don't want to have that. I've kind of worked around it. The way that I set it up is before actually moving my lights to their location, I'll actually power them all on right by each other, set the settings, and then connect it to the app. And once you actually have the light turned on and powered on, it won't disconnect. It's only when you physically unplug the light from the power source when it can potentially reset. And it's not all the time. Sometimes I do that, it won't reset. Other times they'll all reset and I have to go in and turn the Bluetooth functionality back on. I will say, out of the two poisons, using the app is way better than using the remote. You have to power the remote on just to power the light, but you have to make sure that you hit the power button on the light as well. Otherwise, the light and the remote won't communicate. Filming weddings, it's always annoying because you need things to just work and be fast and efficient, especially if you get hit with a curveball and you gotta power the lights on. More frustrating. The mount on the Godox lights are not their typical Bowens mount. It is a Godox proprietary mount, but these little things that you can get from Godox, they're about 30 bucks a piece. They slide on. It reminds me of the same silicone gels that are on the Aperture MCs, but this significantly softens the light. Occasionally, if I'm in a bridal suite that's really dark or there's a lot of shadows, I'll bring one of these lights in there. It's a soft source. It's not a hard cut like using the regular reflector dome. I'm a big fan of Godox products in general. I have not experienced any type of light flickering, color shifts, or any issues like that. I will say, in comparison to the Aperture 60X, these Godox ML60s are a huge win and an easy no-brainer, with the exception of the Sidus Link app working amazing with Aperture products. I think if Godox could actually get their app side of the technology to kind of compete, then they really will be giving Aperture a big run for their money. I think for the price and what you get with these lights, it's an easy no-brainer, especially if you're a wedding filmmaker. You can pick up a kit of these and be good to go. I know lighting at weddings can be somewhat stressful and annoying because it's just more gear to bring in and more things and logistics to worry about. I would definitely say you want to start practicing with it and getting a system, because I personally bring 7 of these to a wedding and I run the entire reception lighting scheme basically on the fly. Having the good lighting really does make the wedding film stand out so much more and just look so much cleaner. Even during the party scenes, having these at about 1%, especially with the mix of DJ lighting, if there's really good up lights or there's really good party lights, these become really nice hair lights. They really do help with faces and get rid of those dark spots that you typically find on most dance floors. And that's all I got. I hope this video was somewhat insightful. Again, I've been trying to make it for like 3 weeks now. Finally just sat down and said, let's do it. As always, if you have any questions about these lights, how we use them, feel free to leave a comment down below or reach out to me on Instagram. And until the next video, y'all keep creating, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace, peace, peace. Oh wait, did I talk about that? Because I don't even know if it comes with a longer cable too. I probably should have bumped that up.
Against all